Hey everyone, First Capital Transparency coming to you from York, Pennsylvania. The first capital of the United States of America, hence First Capital Transparency. Today I am at the York Hospital and it appears there is a lot of construction going on here in the back. So I'm going to see if they honor and respect my rights to audio and video record from a traditional public forum on a public street. Let's see how they do today. Now, I was just wondering if you're the back gate security.
Unfortunately, I am.
Oh, okay.
I literally get paid to just sit here all day to watch the game.
Hey, can I walk over to you for a minute?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'm also here to try to answer any and all questions that you folks may have.
Well, I like that hat. It looks like it's going to keep you cool. Although, you know, the last several days, it's funny, in York County, the temperature, the heat index is 100, 105, and now today, I just checked, it was 69 degrees. But, hey, thanks for keeping us and all the workers safe here. Is that going to be a parking garage or just an addition to the hospital?
This is going to be in addition to the hospital.
Oh, okay.
From my understanding, altogether, it is going to be an 8-story addition, and they are calling it the Critical Care and Surgical Tower.
Oh, okay. I do know, if you ever go and look at the Google reviews on the York Hospital site, it's anywhere from like 2.5 to 2.7 stars, so kind of low. I've been treated in here many times and I never had any issues. But hey, thanks. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Not a problem.
Can I get a first name?
My name is Terry.
Terry?
Yes.
I'm Tom. A pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you
You
too.
keep cool today, and
Well,
I hope
it's a little chilly, so I actually had to break protocol and throw on my long sleeve.
Oh, okay.
Which is why it's covering my class 2.
It looks like it's breathable, so
it is.
You enjoy your day and keep safe, and hopefully they'll give you a lunch break on time.
This is my lunch break.
Oh, there you go.
This is my work day. This is everything.
All right. Thanks. Take care, and nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Well, it looks like we might have some contact here. Let's see how it goes.
Sir, you can't film here. This is private property.
I'm sorry, you said it's private property?
Yes, it is.
Kyle?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's private property, but I'm on public property?
Technically, you're past the hospital sign, so you're not allowed to film hospital grounds.
So you're telling me if I wanted to push this button right here, the lane changing button,
Across the street, that's fine.
but
You're not allowed to film hospital grounds, which is what you're doing, sir.
but why is that? What you're saying because I'm on your property, but that's not true. I checked the GIS survey, the signs here and the foliage, they maintain that. But actually the property line is right about where that stake is in the flowers. And about 1.5 feet, 2 feet in front of that light post over there.
Sir, I'm asking you to please stop filming hospital property.
You're asking me to stop videoing the property.
Yes.
But you also said I'm on your property, and that's not true. So you were misinformed.
But you're still filming hospital property, which is not allowed.
And just out of curiosity, what's preventing me from doing that? Is that a policy of yours?
It's a hospital policy.
I'm sorry, it's a little noisy. You said it's a hospital policy?
Yes, it is. You're not allowed to film property.
I would think that applies to the employees like yourself because you're on property.
It also applies to news agencies. They have to get approval to film on property or to film the property, sir.
I'm not with a news agency.
Please stop recording.
Well, I'm not going to do that, so you do whatever you have to do.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kyle. Enjoy your day. All right, we'll get that tag number there. Well, he was a little wound up, so I guess like I normally do, if someone's going to call law enforcement, I'm just going to hang loose here I'm not going to try to elude the police and run from them, because then they'll have to look for me. So, all right, folks, stand by. Security returned to the scene of the crime. They're probably going to wait for the popo to get here. I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Pretty good, sir. So this is private property. You are not allowed to record on private property, sir. This is private property.
Well, choose your words wisely.
I understand. This is.
You said I can't record
on private property.
On private. Are you saying
this is private property, sir?
Where's the line? Where does it go from private to public?
So once you get off the sidewalk, that's public property. On this side right here, you're on private property, sir.
Well, now I can't believe anything that comes out of your mouth, because I checked the GIS survey. I did my homework before I came here.
So, sir.
So you're saying that the hospital installed
Right
this?
Here, this is private property.
Yeah, but who installed this?
This is private property.
Who installed this right here?
Sir, is that your vehicle right there?
I don't know.
Okay, sir. I'm asking you to leave from where it says Wellspan. So can you leave off property?
So you're
I'm asking you to leave, sir.
So you're asking me, you're not demanding me to.
I'm asking you to leave, or I will call PD and have them
Well,
deal with you, sir.
I'm going to politely decline your request, because you're asking. So right here is the electrical box for the public utilities. So once again, we're going to wait for law enforcement to arrive. York City Police has arrived. Let's hope and they honor and respect my rights to do what I'm doing.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing okay.
Doing all right?
Yep.
What's going on today?
Well, I'm just videoing out in public, and I think I met you before.
You have at City Hall.
See, a good memory.
Yeah. What's going on?
I'm doing a story on the York Hospital.
Okay.
And I'm audio and video recording you, by the way.
You're being audio video recorded as well.
First security came out. His name was Kyle.
Yep.
Asked what I was doing, so I was forthcoming. I told him what I was doing.
Okay.
He said I can't film the hospital. It was illegal.
Okay.
And then he said I was on private property.
Yep.
So I said I'm going to continue what I'm doing because I'm on public property. I said, where's the property line at between private and public? And he said the whole way out to the curb.
Okay.
And I said, well, I'm not going to believe anything that comes out of your mouth, because you just lied to me. I did my homework. I checked the GIS survey. On this pole right here, this galvanized steel, there's a yellow button. I said, so you're telling me I have to go on private property to push the button to cross the street? So they kind of backed down a little bit. So then a few minutes later, the other security guard comes out. I didn't get his name. He said that I can't record that way. I'm trespassing here. He asked me to leave. I said, are you telling me or demanding me to leave? He said, I'm asking. I said, well, then I'll politely decline, because I'm on a public easement. If they went out here to the curb, he's saying I can't use the pedestrian walkway right here.
Okay. Well, the only thing I can think of is recording that way it's a HIPAA thing.
I'm very versed in HIPAA.
Because you have patients that go in, and we're not allowed to record patients going in to a hospital. So to go into a hospital, you do have some sort of right to privacy for why.
If I can stop you for a moment.
There. Go ahead.
I'm very versed in HIPAA.
Okay.
The auspices of patient information is on them. They have to keep that secure. And obviously here, I'm not going to get any personal information.
No,
but
get the people with the people to play.
Yes, but they're in public here. I'm filming in public, so they have no expectation
Yeah,
of privacy.
You can film in public, you're right.
But HIPAA applies if I'm on their property. That's how that works. It's a federal law. It's been around since the mid-90s.
So with the incident that happened on February 22nd, I guess everybody is kind of on edge when they feel threatened at a hospital. Now, a lot of hospitals have put some security measures in place, and that's why they're down here talking to you. You understand that?
I understand. I think it was June 7th they heightened.
I don't care what G7, G6, G13, I don't care about any of that. You're correct. Right here you are on public property, you're on a public sidewalk in public, okay? I don't care if you film, whatever you want to film, film it, okay? It puts them on edge when they're asking you. If you feel like you have the right, you don't want to be courteous to them, then exercise your right and don't be courteous. That's your decision. Okay?
Right, that's my discretion.
But
Kyle,
there's no difference if you film on that corner or you film on this corner, other than they asked you not to film on this corner. You don't want to.
Well, at least I appreciate that you understand.
If you don't want to abide by that, then don't abide by it. As long as you understand that you're putting them on some type of an alert as to why you're here. You don't have anything on you that says that you're with the press. There's no news truck out here. They don't understand that you're doing a story on York Hospital. You understand?
Right. It's pretty much to sum up what you said.
You don't have
it's
any
one word.
identification that says that you're
It's
press.
one word, morals. Just because I can doesn't mean I should.
There you go.
So I understand where you're coming from.
Okay. So maybe if you were on that corner where the do not enter sign is, maybe they would not be as on alert as to why you're down here. Because security's not going to just come down here unless people going in here are making a complaint, or somebody that's going in here is concerned as to what you're doing here with the video camera and your phone.
I understand where you're coming from. I agree with most everything that you're saying, but I hope that you and them can understand where I'm coming from.
I don't really care what they understand.
Okay.
Because
It's
they're
their
not
feelings.
me,
Right.
They're not me and they're not my entity. They're their own entity. So, but what I'm saying to you is there any way you can go in that corner?
Well, I was going to leave after my interaction with the security, but when they said they were going to call 911, I'm not going to run. Just like at City Hall, I'm not going to run, because then you're going to be looking for this fat, bald-headed guy with the green shirt on like I got here. And so I just stuck around here and got a little more B-roll footage.
Well, I do appreciate you waiting around to talk to us. Like I said, if your story is important and you want to film, then if you can work with them and do your story, I would appreciate it. Do you have to do that? No.
I started out
You don't.
back here where the construction is. I talked to the guy. He was very cordial, very polite. I said, "Are you back, the back gate security?" And he said, "Yes." And we talked for a minute or two, and he was very cordial, pleasant, outgoing, didn't have an issue. So I thought at that point, they knew that I was here.
And you'd be okay. Okay. No worries.
So,
What kind of piece you going?
well, it came from the Google reviews. Anywhere, depending on where you search, it's going to be 2.5 to 2.7 stars. And how do you say that?
Gillen.
Gillen.
Yep.
Okay, pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, me too.
And just for the record, since we met before, my first name's Tom.
Okay.
And so I'm just getting some B-roll footage because of the Google reviews here. Now, me personally, I've been in this hospital different times. I never had an issue.
Okay.
I would probably give them
That's-
5 stars.
That's why we got called, because some of the staff was concerned. They didn't know, their work is kind of sensitive in nature. They weren't sure if, somebody had some bad experience and they wanted retribution or something. They didn't know who you were. That's why they were concerned. So, right here it is on public property, so you can record. They just weren't sure what your intention was.
Right.
So,
And I know you're a really smart dude, so I know deep down inside you know why I'm here.
Well, I don't know why you're here. I know this. I know that you're on public property. and you can do that. The only thing I was asking is maybe work with them, and if you want to do the piece and you can do it from across the street, you get a better view of the hospital from being up close like this. That's up to you.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you have to go. I'm only asking you to maybe to work with them so that they don't feel like you're working against them.
I was going to walk down around to the front of the hospital, but that's too much of a grade for me to walk. That's too steep, so I just stayed up here.
At least it's downhill.
Until I come back.
Well, that's true. I don't know where you parked, but yeah, you're right.
Okay. All right. Yeah, as long as
So-
it's on public property, you're good, man. Okay.
All right, and yeah. Thank you both for upholding your oath to the Constitution, because you didn't ask me for my ID this time.
Nope.
And so, yeah, thanks. I know you got a call for service, and you came out here and did what you had to do, but thanks. Thanks for seeing my side. You enjoy your day and be safe.
Protect both sides.
Yep. I'm pro good police, by the way.
Enjoy your weekend, brother.
You too. And I'll probably be leaving here in a few minutes.
No worries.
All right, York City Police, and normally they don't have cruisers that are this new looking. So like always, I'm going to wait for them to leave and then make sure that they're not going to follow me back to my vehicle. All right, York City Police are leaving. But you know the old saying, it ain't over till it's over. Okay, everyone, let's sum things up here for you. Hospital security escalated very quickly. They needed educated on private and property lines. York City Police, they definitely passed. I did know the one police officer for York City from about 2 years ago when I did the audit at York City Hall. The police were uneducated about how HIPPA laws work, so hopefully that was a quick education. And overall, my ID wasn't requested. They didn't really give me a hard time, so kudos to the York City Police. And so they get an A+. And then the security, I'm going to have to fail them because they didn't want to listen to reason. So, first, Capital Transparency. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and we shall see you on the next.